Hey guys, this is Matt Brunet, and welcome to Movie News Weekly, hosted by FilmBook. Now, before we begin, let's take a look at what we got in this week's news, which includes 55 Shades of Batman, animation's biggest night, Shyamalan's next split, Note 13th movie, Here's Jackie, A Bad Burger, The Parody Nightmare Returns, Honoring the King of Comedy, More Batman Troubles, and From Love to the Improv Guru. So with that said, let's get things started. Finally, theaters are coming back to life thanks to toys for kids and adults. The new movies this week went head to head to earn the top spot at the box office during the weekend, and while it did grab some good attention to have audiences back in the cinema, it was the Lego Batman movie that won first place by earning more than $55 million, which, due to having some competition, made significantly less than the Lego movie, which opened with $70 million back in 2014. Coming close in second is the sequel to the sexual phenomenon 50 Shades Darker, which really underperformed compared to its predecessor by starting with a little more than half of what Grey opened, with about $47 million. Meanwhile, John Wick Chapter 2 may be on the side in third place, but it is proud of itself for opening more than double than what the first John Wick did with $30 million. Following from behind includes Split with more than $9 million, Hidden Figures with about $8 million, and A Dog's Purpose with more than $7 million. Well, for once, there's an award show that doesn't give the prize to La La Land. Disney's Zootopia came out on top at the 44th Annual Annie Awards by earning a total of 6 Annies, including Best Character Design, Best Storyboarding, Best Voice Acting for Jason Bateman as Nick Wilde, Best Directing, Best Writing, and Best Animated Feature. Even if the film swooped a good chunk of the awards, other animated features did manage to take some of their own. With the 10 nominations it got, Kubo and the Two Strings managed to grab 3 Annies, including Best Editing, Best Production Design, and Best Character Animation. Meanwhile, Moana also walked away with a couple of awards of their own, including Best Animated Effects, and also grabbing Best Voice Acting with Zootopia for Auli'i Cravalho as Moana. Other movies that won the Annie this year includes Doctor Strange, The Jungle Book, and The Little Prince. Trump isn't the only one making newsworthy tweets. M. Night Shyamalan went to Twitter and mentioned that he is currently working on his next film. The tweet says, "I have an 11-page outline for my next film in the bag. I can't tell you what it is, but if you have seen Split..." This could possibly mean that Shyamalan could be writing a follow-up to Split. When he talked to USA Today, he mentioned that his most recent film was the second installment of a trilogy, with the first being Unbreakable. Split became a surprise hit in theaters when it not only landed in first place at the box office for 3 weekends in a row, but this week it managed to pass $100 million at the domestic box office. Sorry Jason, but it looks like you won't be slashing this year. Paramount has officially pulled the plug on its Friday the 13th reboot. Sources state that the reason for this decision came from many factors, including the $21 million budget, the question if they would continue keeping the rights to New Line, and the terrible starting performance at the box office with Rings. The movie was written by Aaron Guzikowski, and Breck Eisner was assigned to direct in order to get an October 13th release as part of the 13th film of the franchise. However, throughout production of the feature, it received several delays since it was originally planned to be released back in 2015. The most recent edition of the franchise came to theaters back in 2009. After all these years, guess who's back? Paramount Pictures has gotten the rights to make an English-language remake of Tony Erdmann, which is about a man who's trying to loosen up his more strict grown-up daughter. No director has yet to be attached to the project, but it did manage to get Jack Nicholson and Kristen Wiig to star in the feature. Adam McKay, Will Ferrell, Jessica Eldbaum, and the original director, Madame Ade, are on board as producers. This will be the first time in years that Nicholson will return to the big screen, since his last feature he appeared in was in 2010's How Do You Know? The original Tony Erdmann is currently up at the Oscars for Best Foreign Film. Someone must have gotten a bad order. The Weinstein Company is being sued by the financier of the movie The Founder, Film Nation, and its subsidiary Speedy for the distribution. The claim stated that the companies made an agreement to release the film in a time frame where no other movies would be released before or after the week it was set in. However, Weinstein would instead put up the Matthew McConaughey feature Gold a week after The Founder. The report stated, The Founder and Gold both appealed to the same audience. At all relevant times, the two films have been marketed to potential moviegoers in the same way, conveying an effective binary choice to the viewer, to see one movie or the other. FilmNation is seeking for $15 million in damages.
Oh no. Oh no. Not again!
Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer, the guys that brought you parody films like Epic Movie, Disaster Movie, and more, are returning to make a Star Wars parody called Star Wars Episode XXXIVE equals MC squared The Force Awakens The Last Jedi Who Went Rogue. The two will be writing and directing the feature, while Covert Media will handle the financing. Paul Hansen, the CEO of Covert, stated Jason and Aaron are a powerhouse duo who have proven time and time again that they are fully tapped into what audiences love. Their fearless take on pop culture had us beyond thrilled to tackle the world's most popular franchise, with the two of them leading us to a galaxy far, far away. The film is currently under pre-production, and filming is scheduled to begin this fall. Now it's the time for the British to truly appreciate American comedy. Mel Brooks has been announced as this year's recipient of the BAFTA's Fellowship, which is the highest honor for the award show to give for their contribution to entertainment. He will be given the honor to the president of BAFTA, who is also the Duke of Cambridge, Prince William. Brooks stated, "I am not overwhelmed, but I am definitely whelmed by this singular honor. To be included among such iconic talents is absolutely humbling. In choosing me for the 2017 Fellowship, I think that BAFTA has made a strangely surprising yet ultimately wise decision." He will be among other recipients that includes Martin Scorsese, Terry Gilliam, Christopher Lee, and Alan Parker. Jeez, it's like the only way that Batman can catch a break is with Legos. Ben Affleck has been announced that not only will he not direct the feature, but he will also not write the script. Although a new writer might have worked on it, the script is said that it will go either a massive revision or get an entirely new script altogether. On top of that, the movie's schedule will be pushed back from its 2018 release to 2019 in an unconfirmed date. Ben Affleck is still connected to the project as the star of the feature, so he could reprise his role from Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, and now he and Warner Brothers are looking for people who are capable of taking the helm of the picture. Which, by the way, could most likely be Matt Reeves. It'll take a lot more than just comedy skills to go through this guy. Covert Media announced that they got Mike Myers to play as comedy coach Dell Close in the movie Dell, which is about the relationship between the crazy coach and an aspiring comedian. Covert Media CEO Paul Hansen stated, "Mike Myers is a comedy genius and the perfect actor to inhabit this complicated, funny, poignant character. A pioneer of his craft, Close has passed his knowledge of humor and improv to the group of comedians that everyone knows today, and this hilarious script examines that intimate relationship with his students that has made them so successful." Close was known to be the teacher of some of the most well-known actors today that are perfectly trained in comedy, including Amy Poehler, Bob Odenkirk, Louis C.K., Michael Cera, Tina Fey, and even Mike Myers. And that's all I've got for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to head on down to film-book.com for all the latest movie and TV news, along with their columns on the box office and their theatrical release schedule. Also, you can follow them on whatever social media you'd like. And while you're at it, you can follow me on my YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter if you're more into stuff like animation, Disney, and my weird sense of humor. If you were watching this on YouTube, then hit that like button and come subscribe to us, and also leave a little comment on what you think on the news this week. If you were listening to this on a podcast on iTunes or any other podcast service, then don't forget to rate and review what you just heard. Tune in next time for another round of Movie News Weekly, and until next week, see you later, dudes!